Hello and welcome into the Week 10 edition of the Commissioner's Corner in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. The 49ers unfortunately just looked outmatched against the Rams, losing 42-26. They just don't have enough good players, and the Rams just ran the ball right down their throat. But the Jets, however, do get their second win of the season against the Browns, despite only throwing for 42 yards. 42 passing yards. It was due to the fact that they had a special teams touchdown, punt return, and a kickoff return that helped propel them to a win. But a congratulations goes out to myself, earning this week's high score with a 159.4 to 88.4 win over Jeff. Emeka Egbuka and Breece Hall delivered big, so I said, gives me some more J-Mo. And that's ultimately what I got. So with that, let's take a look at our worst to first segment, brought to you by Jeff.
Well, here I am again. Somehow, twice in one season, I am loser of the week and worst to first. Day after Veterans Day, thank you to all those that have served. A big fuck you to my football team who didn't serve me at all, especially Saquon Barkley. And in the 1 week Alvin Kamara produced some actual points, the rest of the team decided to take a shit. So, thank you for that, fantasy football team. Other than that, congratulations goes to Mr. Joseph Laredo. Great job, tremendous work. Totally beat the brakes off my team. And let him back in the door to make a playoff run. And I got a feeling we're looking at another Laredo Bowl this year. So that one can also be blamed on me. Terrific. Hope you all have a wonderful week.
Right you are, Jeff. I am very much hoping for another Laredo Bowl this season. Despite the fact that even with me winning, I still have a sub 50% chance of making the playoffs. I have fought tooth and nail to be where I am back at 500, effectively where I started the season. So it's still got a long way to go to get into the playoffs, but feels good nonetheless. With that, let's take a look at some other matchups from around the league. Tony put up a valiant effort, but it wasn't meant to be, as Val had Devon intervention with Achane going off for 42 points to power her to a 140.6 to 109.6 win over Tony. Jesse spit out his Cheerios Sunday morning as he saw MVP hopeful Jonathan Taylor put up a 50 burger against him, as Jacob easily gets the 146 to 105 victory. Matt couldn't get much anything going here, and Dolan took full advantage with Travion Winderson and Kyron Williams stepping up to deliver a 126.8 to 98.65 win. In the battle of the Bears receivers, Goody had DJ Moore, who posted 0 points on 4 targets, while Simmons had Rome Odunze, who had 17.6 points from 6 catches with 86 yards and a touchdown. That pretty much sums how this played out, as Simmons got the 143.4 to 110.8 victory. And in the game of the week, Nick got off to a hot start with Baker throwing for 3 touchdowns and Jalen Waddle finding the end zone. Then Matthew made a push late, with Trey McBride showing why he is the number 1 tight end in fantasy football, and Devontae Adams getting a score before exiting with a back injury. However, in the end, Nick was able to hold on with some garbage time points from Kittle and Marvin Harrison to hand Matthew his first loss since week 1 with a 126.95 to 118.9 win.
Hey guys, a couple exciting things this week. Thanks to some of the teams that are really coming up, making it a little exciting run for the playoffs. Jeff really shitting the bed. Maybe he should have taken his strategy from a few years ago and just drafted an entire Patriots roster. Thanks to Nick for taking down the big leader. Hopefully that continues and gives us kind of in the middle a little more of a chance. Jesse and Matt, Still really fighting for that yup for yellow, but an exciting next week as Joseph and I face off. We'll see how the household holds up here. But anyway, it's time for your Sitter Sub of the Week segment. The Sit of the Week goes to Matthew, where he went with Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt in a 3 running back room timeshare, who got only 4.1 points, over Amari DeMercado, who benefited from the Cardinals getting blown out to post 12.3 points. This 8.2 point difference would have been enough to give him that win over Nick. And the sub goes of the week to yours truly. With Jane Daniels sidelined for a few weeks with a dislocated elbow, I had a clutch waiver wire pickup of Caleb Williams. Even in an early November snow game, he found a way to score through the air and on the ground to put up 27.1 points and help me get a dominating win over Tony. Well, this has been unofficially brought to you by Beach Deli Midtown, where aloha is served daily.
Looking ahead to next week, Matt finds himself scrambling for a win while I now have an outside chance at making the playoffs but need a win here. Tony has been putting up points but keeps facing tough matchups. Should be able to get a win here to keep his playoff hopes alive. Nick, fresh off taking down the number 1 seed, and Matthew looks to ride the momentum against Val, who broke out of her losing streak this week. Jeff has not had the same early season production from Saquon, and James Cook is now taking on Jesse, who has lost 8 in a row and finds himself at the bottom of the standings. Goody will need to make a change at quarterback with Jackson Dart in the concussion protocol as Matthew looks to bounce back after last week's loss against Nick. And in the game of the week, it's Dolan going up against Simmons. Dolan is currently in second place with a 7-3 record, feeling very confident with CeeDee Lamb, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and Kyron Williams going up against Simmons, who is in fourth place with a 6-4 record. However, he does have the most points scored in the league, led by Josh Allen, Rico Dowdle, and Brock Bowers. This could be a high-scoring affair with big playoff implications. So as we look ahead to Week 11 in football, we have the Jets and the Patriots on Thursday night on Amazon Prime. Don't expect the Jets to do a whole lot here. The Patriots are looking very, very strong with Mike Vrabel and Drake May running the show. Then we round out the international series early Sunday morning. NFL goes to Madrid, going to Spain. First time ever. That should be very exciting, with the Commanders and the Dolphins being sent to there. So then the 49ers take on the Cardinals, typical 1 o'clock time on Sunday, followed up by a fantastic matchup Sunday night with the Lions and the Eagles. What it could be a possible playoff preview for these teams. That could be fun. Then Monday night, the Dallas Cowboys take on the Las Vegas Raiders. That should be a lot of bad football. But anyways, best of luck this week, and Commissioner out.